Well, good evening, folks, or good morning, good afternoon, good night, whatever time it is, wherever you are in the world. Quincy Kane here, and this is live stream number 48, getting close to nifty 50. And over the past weekend, I just had my first live show as a solo artist, so definitely excited to share my experience with you guys and tell you all about that. But we're going to give some time for a few more people to show up. So while we're waiting, I'm just going to go ahead and play a song for you guys. If you're out there, don't be shy. Just say hello, leave a comment, and let me know what you've been up to lately. What have you been listening to? Have you watched any good movies or shows lately? And are you playing any video games right now? If so, leave a comment letting me know what you've been up to. In the meantime, I'm going to dive into a song here. This one's called Into the Unknown. Nox and Bandito, thanks for joining. Good to have you there. The short version is it went well. I'm going to dive into it in a little bit here, but it was a good. Everything did not go perfect, that's for sure. There were definitely a few rough patches, but it was a really good first show. Like, I definitely learned a lot from the experience, and yeah, so excited to tell you about that. I'm going to play this song, and then I'm going to dive right into that. So, but let me know, how are you doing, and what have you been up to lately? You've been watching any movies, playing any games, listening to anything new lately? You know, leave a comment. I can hear you, but I won't. Some look for trouble, while others don't. There's 1,000 reasons I should go about my day, and ignore your whispers, which I wish would go away. You're not a voice, you're just a ringing in my ear. And if I heard you, which I don't, I'm spoken for, I fear. Everyone I've ever loved is here within these walls. I'm sorry, secret siren, but I'm blocking out your calls. Like that, my adventure, and I don't need something new. I'm afraid of what I'm missing if I follow you into the unknown. What do you want? 'Cause you've been keeping me awake. Are you here to distract me so I make a big mistake? Or are you someone out there who's a little bit like me? Who knows deep down I'm not where I'm meant to be? Every day is a little harder as I feel my power grow. Don't you know there's part of me that longs to go into the unknown, into the unknown, into the unknown. Whoa, are you out there? Do you know me? Can you feel me? Can you show me? You going, don't leave me alone. How do I follow you into the unknown? Thank you. All right. Nox, let me know if you're still out there. yeah, so over this past weekend, I had my first live performance. Oh, let's see. Thanks. I'm glad you do. I was surprised how well that came out as a cover too. I don't know if you'd heard the story behind that cover. My brother, back when the movie came out, wanted to go see it in theaters, and he didn't want to go by himself, so I went with him. And as I was watching the movie, the song came on, and I have a tendency to kind of drum on my lap and stuff when I'm listening to music, and this thought popped in my head that this could be a metal song. And I was like, no, I don't want to do that. That's going to be kind of gimmicky. But I thought about it, and I decided, well, let me at least try it out, just kind of record it and see how it comes out. And I thought it was a pretty cool rendition, so I decided to go through with it. And yeah, it works out well for a metal song. So, but yeah, thanks for joining, Knox. So yeah, over the past weekend, I had my first live performance. So anyone watching on YouTube for a while, I've been kind of putting out some songs from time to time. Been doing a lot of these one-man band videos. It's been a lot of trial and error and learning. Hey, Stan, good to have you with us. Thanks for joining. I'm talking about the first live stream, which Stan was actually there. He was a help. I'll mention him in a little bit, but yeah, over the years, I've had a few little attempts. My last real attempt at playing live shows, performing, getting out there, was probably back around 2012, maybe up to 2015. I don't think I was really playing shows. It was probably more like 2012 to 2014, kind of that period of time. I had a band with some friends back in the day, and we were actually pretty good, but we didn't have a game plan. We were just doing it for fun, and we were kind of just hoping that something would come out of it. And that's not a very good strategy. And life just kind of took us in different ways, and it just didn't happen. We never really officially called it quits on the band. It just kind of dwindled out. And that was my first realization that, okay, if I'm going to pursue this as a career, I'm going to have to be focused and serious. But the other thing was I had other interests too. So it wasn't even like music was the only thing. There were other things. And even if it was music, it was like, what kind of music? Because I like other styles besides metal. But as I was learning, I was learning about production and how to record music. And eventually I just kind of realized metal, if I had to pick one, it would have to be metal. Metal's just the one style, I don't get tired of it. I think it's what I'm best at. Actually, I would argue, I think vocally, my vocals might work better for a punk rock genre, like pop punk or maybe some acoustic stuff or something. But metal's my favorite. So, and as far as the other instruments go, I do all right with that. So, but then the question was, all right, do I try it alone or do I try it with friends? So, I tried it again with some friends, and again, that kind of fell through. I've collaborated. I had someone helping me for a while, and then life kind of pulled them away. And it's just been it's been a little tricky just kind of getting it going. And finally, I realized, all right, if I'm going to do this, let me just try to do it as a solo artist. Let me just do it on my own. And just get a good foothold in the industry first before I try collaborating with a lot of other people and stuff. So yeah, so I've been doing these live streams for a while. This is basically my setup here, being able to play with these backing tracks on my computer. My guitar is plugged into my computer, and it's basically the same thing, but instead of outputting through your phone speaker or your computer speaker, whatever you're watching through, we would output through a PA system. So it's kind of the same thing. This has been these live streams have been a good way to sort of practice and sort of test out this setup. And so, yeah, but eventually the time would have to come all right, I can't just stay in my bedroom and keep making songs. I've got to start playing shows again. So that's the plan, is to start playing shows locally and trying to build something of a local following in my hometown. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Stan. Thanks for being there. You were a big help. So this first gig, we got hooked up with it by my buddy Chris. Chris has a skateboarding brand called Beautiful Skateboards. So for those of you who don't know, I actually enjoy skateboarding. And every Saturday I go to my local skate park. We have a very nice park in town, and I'll stay there for about 3 hours skateboarding. So I've got a couple friends at the park. One of my friends is Chris. And he and I, we've had conversations. We worked on videos together. And, at one point we were talking, and he told me about this festival called Skate Nelson. It's a skateboarding event, but they have live music at it. And so he hooked me up with the guy who was in charge of all of that. The guy checked out my music, thought it was really cool, and so he put me on the list to play. I was actually supposed to play last year in October, but because of COVID, it ended up being canceled. But that ended up being a blessing in disguise because I wasn't really ready yet. There were a lot of other things. I needed to get like a logo made, kind of figure out some money management things, just like if I'm going to be making this a business, I got to run it like a business. And so I have to be aware of, okay, what's money that I can use for my personal needs? What's money that I need to put into the business? How do I distribute it? And just being able to organize all of that stuff, and kind of having something of a game plan of like, what items of merch to try to acquire first, because like you don't just want to make t-shirts right off the bat. You kind of need a demand for merchandise before you start making merchandise. But I found out like guitar picks are one of the cheapest things that you can get made, and little business cards. And then also my same buddy Chris, he's been a good friend so far. He also hooked me up with someone in town, our local area, named Amanda, who's been awesome. She is kind of a brand designer, logo maker person, and so she's the one who designed my logo, and she's helping me develop my brand. We're partnering, and she's helping me kind of hone in on like an image for my brand and my music, and she helped me make a little poster for my merch table. She helped me make these little business cards. They're more like promo cards than business cards, but they've got a QR code on it that takes people to a page with all my music and social media and stuff. So she's been great so far. And she actually helped me get the logo. I did get some guitar picks ordered, but they didn't come in time for the show. So anyway, showtime was coming up. I had been making lots of preparations, sort of practicing, trying to be as prepared as I could be, and got there in time. The event started at 4, but the music wasn't going to start till 5, and I was going to be the first act, which is actually what I wanted. I wanted to be first. I didn't want to have to wait. I just wanted to just go. So I was already plugged in. I got a good sound check. All right, here we go. Here's where things start getting interesting. So I got a great sound check. I can hear myself good through the speakers, and the sound guy said that the mix sounded good out there and stuff. And so this is an outdoor festival, of course. And I'm feeling good, ready to go and stuff. And Stan helped me out. He was kind of watching my table and kind of managing the money if anyone were to provide tips or anything like that. We were just kind of talking. I had some family and a few friends come out and to watch the show. And it was showtime, so it was time for me to go up. So I get on up there, and I get my guitar on. And as I'm like getting ready, Michael, the guy who is running the whole event, he's making some announcements on the microphone. So he's making announcements, and I'm behind him with my computer and on the table getting ready. And my guitar cable has like a little loop in it. So I'm trying to undo it. I'm trying to spin around and get that loop undone. And in the process of doing that, I pull my gear off of the table onto the floor. It was like, oh my gosh. It was like about time for me to go on, and I just did that. And so I tell Michael, like, buy me some time. And thankfully, I didn't pull my computer down. It was just the stuff I was plugging into, my interface, my preamp, and my compressor. So I get that stuff back up, make sure everything's plugged in, everything looks good. It's showtime. I go to play, and no sound's coming out. It's like, what's going on here? So, I start fidgeting with things. The sound guy's trying to help me out, figuring out what's going on. Eventually, I fidget with one of the cables going into the direct box, and that gets me a signal. So I think I'm good. And, I kind of play it off. I sort of just say, all right, here we go, take 2, and then my backing track plays, and the song starts, and I will say, like, I was very much, before that, I had some confidence, and I wanted to get on stage and just, like, it's kind of weird. The weird thing about stage presence is it's good to be confident. You know, like you don't want to be on stage like, hi, here's my next song. You know, like that's not good stage presence. You know, you need to be like. And sometimes that's kind of tricky because, like, sometimes I think I'm worried that if I try to look confident, I'll come off as cocky, and I don't want to, you know, I don't want to be that. But I will say, you know, I had some friends get some footage of me and stuff, and looking at the footage back, like you can see, there's definitely a difference between confident and cocky. And confident doesn't mean like you're full of yourself. It just means that you're there to have a good time. You're happy that the audience is there, and you're acknowledging them, and you're just trying to put on a good show for them, and you're just enjoying the music, you know. So it's not so much being confident like in yourself, like, oh yeah, I'm awesome. It's more just being confident, like, this is awesome. Let's have fun. I'm gonna play some songs for you, and you know, try to be entertaining. So I had the mindset to be charismatic on stage, but then after that little incident, it's really hard to do that and just come out like, yeah, you know, like it's, you know. So I was like kind of doing it, but I was definitely holding back a little bit. And the first song plays, and this first song was For You, if you know that song of mine. And we get to the verse, and in the verse, I stop playing my part, and it's just the backing track. And there's supposed to be a guitar playing, but for some reason, I can only hear the drum beat. And the reason why is because my guitar is panned to the right, but the other guitar is panned to the left. That might be reverse for you, depending, you know, on the screen, but yeah. And so the left speaker was actually not coming through. So the song had already started. There was really nothing I could do about it, so I just had to play through that song. And truth be told, it still sounded okay, you know, at least in the little bit of footage I heard from it. But after that song, I had to go back to fidgeting. I had to explain to the sound guy, hey, here's what's going on. And thankfully, we were able to find a quick solution. We never really actually fixed it. We just kind of had to find a way around it, you know, really quick. And yeah, so the beginning was definitely like a little frustrating, and it took me a little while to build up my confidence after that. But at the same time, well, I'll come up with my thoughts later. But so that's kind of how things started, and then from there, let's see what happened. So the show went on, and as the show went on, it got better. And thankfully, like, you know, my family, they were supportive, and there were a few other people kind of gathering around. It wasn't like I wasn't playing in front of a huge crowd or anything. It was a pretty small crowd, but it was a crowd, and it wasn't just my friends and family. It was, you know, others who had come around to check out the music. Not to mention people were hearing it just, you know, while they were watching the skateboarding or getting food or something like that, you know. So it's not like everyone who was just sitting there watching me were the only ones listening to the music. So the other songs, they got better, and as I went along, I kind of got my confidence back and stuff. And yeah, I will say I do feel like I played pretty good. I was struggling with my vocals a little bit, and I have a few theories about this, especially on the second song. The second song was A Place to Call Home. And this freaking song, you know, I like the song. I think it's a good song. But there's this one high note in the chorus. You showed, or you told me of a place to call home. I can always hit it the first time, but then in the second chorus, it goes higher. You showed me love. And I can do it there pretty easily. But when you're having to sing two verses and a chorus before that, it's like, it's a lot harder. And I think because of my mishap, like the issue I was having after I'd pulled my gear off, like we had to fix all that, I don't think my stage mix was as good as it was before. And so I think I was maybe singing louder than I had to. And by singing louder, I was kind of shouting and sort of kind of straining my throat a little bit. So I ended up, it was weird, like I would lose my voice for the chorus, and then when I stopped singing, you know, while I was playing the rest of the song, and then I'd start singing again, I would get my voice back. So thankfully, I didn't lose it for the show, but like when I lost it, it's like, okay, it's lost until you stop singing or, take a break from singing. So again, just more stuff to kind of dampen down on my my confidence. And I think it was some external things too. I think there were a couple other things that maybe I should have done to just be ready for singing and hitting those high notes. I probably should have gone off into like the back room and tried to hit a few high notes before actually going on stage and performing the song. But after all the catastrophe stuff, the rest of the show went good. I felt like I played the solos pretty good. I definitely wasn't perfect, but that's the nice thing is people who don't know your songs, they don't know where you're messing up at and where you're not. So, got good feedback and reaction from the audience. And the talk in between shows went good too. I had planned out what I was going to say between songs, and thankfully that went pretty well. It wasn't like, awkward, like, okay, well, here's another song, like I had something to talk about. And at one point, probably the coolest thing that happened, you're at a skate event, so you got to yell, do a kickflip. And, but you couldn't really see the park that good from the stage. Like I could see some of it. But I tried it. I just said, hey, someone out there, do a kickflip. And this kid came over. He came somewhere where everyone could see him, and he did a kickflip for me, and then everyone cheered, and so that was like a nice little moment. And I met that kid afterwards and thanked him for doing that. But, last song went good. I don't know, like the performance went well. And then after the show, when it was all said and done, the other acts, the other bands and stuff, they had a lot of nice things to say. I got good feedback from them. One of them was local to my same town, so the drummer in the band kind of hooked me up with a few venues or told me a few venues that I should check out. So that was helpful. And then one of the guys was really encouraging. I think he could tell that I was a little, troubled by my fiasco at the beginning, but he said, dude, no one cared about that. Don't worry. And your backing tracks are super, high production, high quality. And he had said, I've been playing with backing tracks for 25 years, and I can tell you, you're really tight with those backing tracks. So it was really nice to hear someone like him kind of say that. And he's got some connections with some of the metal scene happening in our local town, so it's nice to have a friend like him or a connection like him. And so and then thankfully my family enjoyed it. It's kind of funny. My parents actually came, and for those of you who don't know, I am so loved and supported by my family, and I share similar values and beliefs to them, but I always kind of describe myself as the black sheep, but not the outcast. And what I mean is, I'm very different than the rest of my family, but I'm very much accepted by my family. So I don't mean to imply that I'm somehow this outcast in my family. That's not the case at all. My siblings are some of my best friends, and I love my parents. But it is true that all of them, they kind of like country music or pop music and just different styles, different interests. They're more into kind of Western cowboy kind of farm stuff. And me, I'm the metalhead. I'm into skateboarding, and I like making movies and things like that. But my brother and his girlfriend came to the show, and he thought it was cool seeing me in my element. He says whenever he sees me playing, it's just at church. And so it was really cool to see me playing my style of music and really getting to unleash on the guitar and stuff. And then my mom and dad, they enjoyed the show. I even had to do some harsh vocals in front of them. I had to do some, some screaming growls in front of them. I think that's the first time I've ever growled in front of them. But I just kind of didn't look at them while I was doing it. But they weren't embarrassed or anything. They thought it was all great, and they kind of understand. They know I listen to that kind of music. So, so. All in all, it was a really good show. And then, as far as the response afterwards, had a few people come up, say that they enjoyed the show. A couple people signed up for my email list, got a few tips. And, I met that kid who did the kickflip. There's another kid, and I gave out a lot of the promo cards and stuff. So it was just a fun time. And then afterwards, just got to do some skating and eat some food and stuff. And again, Stan was helping with a lot of that, and so I appreciate him being there. But I think it was a really good first gig because it went well, but the things that went wrong were good things. It was things like, okay, I need to make sure I can prevent that from happening in the future. So like pulling my gear off the table. In the future, I need to make sure I've got some way to strap it down to the table. And in the future, maybe I'll leave my guitar unplugged until it's showtime, and then I'll plug my guitar in instead of, you know, having to fidget with it as I pick it up and stuff. Same thing with the vocals, just knowing, like, you know, what kind of water to drink, making sure I'm maybe try to test a few high notes before I go on stage, and being sure not to, like, sing louder than I need to hit certain notes, make sure I'm not shouting over the speaker. What else? So yeah, you know, there were those like little problem areas like that, but then there were things that went well too. And then also I had footage to look back on, so it was kind of nice to see like my stage presence and sort of get an idea like, okay, that looks good, I should do more of that. That, you know, that doesn't look as good, I should try to avoid doing that. You know, little things like that. So just a really good first experience. And yeah, I'm pretty pleased with how everything went. I'm going to be posting a video soon. I've edited a video of footage from the show, so you'll get a chance to see a few clips from the live show. Stan, I think you've got some footage too. I'll need to get that from you. Actually, I might want to get that before I put the video out, because maybe I'll put that footage in the video. So maybe we can do that Sunday or something like that. What else? So yep, I'll have footage. I'll have some photos posted on like Instagram and stuff, and then I'm looking to play more shows. I'm hoping that I can get a show next month, at the end of next month. I'd like to start just once a month and then gradually work my way to once a week. But right now, I just want to assess what I've learned, kind of, you know, get back in the routine. And I've got some plans too. Now that I'm going to be playing live shows, there's certain things that I want to do with my YouTube channel and my social media and all of that. So definitely excited for what's in the future. But anyway, that's pretty much the story. That's the event. But definitely excited. Looking forward to doing more live shows. It just feels good to do something like visible. You know what I mean? Like, so often when you're making music, you're just in your bedroom and you're just recording, and like you put it out on the internet, but that's it. So it's just nice to do something like, look, I have a poster, you know, look, I have a logo, and it's like, look, I'm on stage. It's like, just to get out and actually do it. I think I've been ready for that for a long time, and I'm glad that it's finally happening. So anyway, I'm going to dive into another song here. But, well, let me read a few comments real quick. Cool. I'm going to dive into another song here, but let me know, have you ever played live? Have you ever played on a live stage before? If you have, let me know and maybe give me a brief summary of how that experience went. This next one's an instrumental. Hope you like it. Thank you. Awesome, Knox. So you did a talent show. What did you do for the talent show? Did you play an instrument? Did you sing? Did you do both? Did you play with a band? Did you play solo? Tell me a little bit about that. Talent shows are great. When I was growing up, through our church, we had access to the teen talent show. There's actually the junior talent show first, for like kids and stuff, and then as you get older, there's the teen talent show, and that was a great opportunity to learn songs and have to play in front of people under kind of pressure and stuff. So things like that definitely help you, especially if you're wanting to play music in front of people. It's good to have that kind of experience, just to know what it's like. Like I'm not, I've been playing in front of people for a long time, but there's definitely a difference between playing like a supporting element, like just kind of playing like, in the background, for church or something, versus performing. Because when you're at church, you're not actually performing. You're leading worship, but for a show, you're performing. You're trying to, put on a show. So it's kind of different. But as far as like just being on stage in front of people, I've kind of gotten used to that all my life, just because I have a musical family, and there's been a lot of situations where I've been up on stage playing music in front of people. My last year of teen talent was probably my best year. Me and my friends, we did as many categories as we could do. I mean, you have to pay for entry, so it wasn't like we did everything. But I remember I did a guitar solo that went pretty good. I think I got runner up for that. I did a drum solo that I ended up winning for, and that was a really cool experience, because I had been learning drums, and my parents didn't even know that I was learning drums, so they were really surprised when I played, and they were like, "Wow, we did not know you could drum like that," and that was really cool. So I got to go to the championship, I guess you could call it. It was called Nationals. For that, but I didn't win that. But it was still cool to have that experience. And then I did 2 songs with the band. We did one instrumental and one ensemble, like where we sang. So the instrumental one, I was actually on piano for that. That was a fun jamming one, Ben Folds song. And then what was it? The other one where we sang, we did a cover of a song by the band Red. I think we did the song Already Over, and that went pretty good. I think we got runner-up on that one. So, and actually the instrumental one, we won that one too, but my friends weren't able to go on the trip. So when I went on the trip for Nationals, I only went for the drums, but technically we could have gone for the drums and for the instrumental band entry. But yeah, talent shows are definitely a good thing to be a part of. But besides talent shows and performance, have any of you have y'all seen any good movies lately? Have you watched any shows? Are you playing any video games? Or have you what you've been listening to lately? Of course, hopefully, Knox, you're typing up. Just trying to give you some time to sort of share what you had to share about your talent show. But just a little more what I've been up to in my downtime, at least. Actually, this past week or so, getting ready for the show, I haven't had a whole lot of downtime. I was working a little bit later, just trying to get things finished and getting ready for the show. And so a big part of this week has been like trying to get back into a steady routine, because I can't work like that all the time. I've got to. I'm more productive when I have more of a system in place, and plus, for health reasons, just when I have a system in place, it helps me wind down in the evenings and sleep better. So this week I've been kind of working to getting back into that kind of routine. But I had been listening to some Queen lately. I'm not sure what made me get on to Queen recently. Obviously, I'd heard of them before. I've listened to them before. But I don't know. Something just kind of put them back on my radar. And something made me just realize, like, wow, they have so many good songs. And I was like, I should just look up Like, I think sometimes when a band like that has been around for a while, it can be a little intimidating to look at all their releases. But if you just look up like their greatest hits, sometimes it's like, all right, well, here's a highlight of the best, you know, and just to kind of get sort of an idea and sort of get a nice collection of some of their best songs. So I've just been listening to. There's like I think they had 3 greatest hits albums put out over a period of time, and so I've been listening through those lately, and they're great. They're a good band. That's awesome that y'all played an original song and had a full band playing bass and singing. That's really cool. And huge 21 Pilots fan, so I imagine it was probably in a similar music style, which is great. And that's to me that's sort of the fun thing is you know, even when I got into songwriting, um, so when I first learned guitar, um, my cousin showed me how to play a power chord, and I would use this power chord and try to play these songs that I'd heard from like the Tony Hawk video games and stuff. My friend listened to a lot of AC/DC and Sum 41, so a lot of punk rock and 80s rock. And I was trying to play like TNT, but I'd only heard the song like a couple times, and so I was playing completely from memory. And he told me like, that's not how it goes. And just every time I tried to show him something, he'd always tell me I was playing it wrong. And I just kind of got like I just wanted to play guitar. You know, I got tired of him telling me I was playing things wrong. So I decided, you know what? I'm just gonna make up my own stuff so he can't tell me I'm playing it wrong. So I started making things up, but the way I would make things up, of course, was by getting inspiration. And so it's kind of funny. I think a lot of people, when they hear a song that they like, they say, oh, I like that. I want to learn how to play that song. But for me, I sort of had it in my mind that, like, I had to make up my own songs for some, you know, like, based off that experience. So when I heard a song I liked, I said, oh, that sounds cool. I want to write something like that. And so I would just kind of listen to it and then try to sort of imitate the style or the mood of the song, and just kind of, just try to see if I could sort of copy that sound. And that's a great way to learn. It sort of helps you build up a vocabulary of sound, so you kind of understand, like, you know, how to make a certain effect. Like, oh, I know, like, if you're trying to write something sad and emotional, you kind of know what sort of chords or notes to hit. Or if you're trying to write something heavy, you know, you kind of know what techniques to use. Or if you're trying to write something, you know, very light, or if you're trying to write something happy sounding, you know, whatever it might be, whatever effect you're trying to do, just sort of listening to songs that you like and then trying to mimic that style or the tone of that song. That's a great way to learn. So yeah, and I definitely do it with metal, you know. A lot of these songs, my first like metal influences, I mean, I guess technically like the hard rock influences were bands like Chevelle and Flyleaf. Those were some big influences. But then, you know, metal, Killswitch Engage was a really big influence for me in metal, and a little bit of All That Remains, and who else? Drawing blanks. And actually, there's a band called Mutiny Within that was pretty influential to me. And then, you know, there'd be certain songs I'd hear, not necessarily the band, but just certain songs from certain bands that would kind of influence my style. And then I got into like progressive metal, so, you know, Periphery and Between the Buried and Me, they were very influential to me. The Faceless was very influential to me, and Extol, and you know, all these other bands and stuff. But it's kind of cool, though. Like, you sort of get inspiration from them, but after a while, you sort of learn how to kind of shape your own thing. You sort of realize, like, what you can do and what you can do, and you sort of realize, like, what you can do similar to the band and what are some strengths you have that you need to do different from the band. So yeah, it's pretty cool. So, and in some ways, you know, I'm so excited to start releasing some new songs again. I do have a new song coming out soon. But the song is actually finished. I'm currently in the process of working on a lyric video for it to release it, and and Amanda, the girl who was helping with my logo and stuff, she's actually helping with the album cover too. So trying to get that done so I can get that song released. This one is a collaboration, so because of that, there were just it just took a little longer. You know, it wasn't something that I could do in the same routine as a song working on my own. But once this is done, I'm pretty determined to like start getting back into like releasing a song every 6 weeks to 2 months. And yeah, I would just looking forward to. I'm excited about the newer stuff that I have because I think it's sounding a bit more original. Like there's definitely influence in there, but a lot of my first metal songs sound very killswitch engage, you know. Even, you know, For You, you know, is kind of like that. That's, you know, you got your chunky kind of bar chord riffs in the verse, and then in the chorus, I mean, that's a chord that I learned from killswitch engage, you know. You have this very melodic kind of chorus. So, you know, definitely has a bit of a killswitch sound to it. And so, you know, which is great. Obviously, I love killswitch, but it's nice to hear the sound evolve into something that's kind of my own and sort of unique to me. And it still has some killswitch in there, but it's just got these other sounds too that all combine into something. So all that to say, you know, that's cool that you have some inspiration from 21 Pilots, and, you know, listen to them, listen to some other bands, and in time you can sort of develop this vocabulary of sound to sort of create a sound that is sort of original and unique to you. But that's cool. Do you post your music anywhere? I'll have to check it out. Is it on your YouTube channel or anything like that? Yeah, I'll be sure to check out some of their lyric stuff. I can always use a little help with lyrics, you know. All right, but with that said, yeah, let me know. Is your music on your YouTube channel? I'll be sure to check that out at some point. I'm going to go ahead and dive into another song here. This is actually a new song. I haven't released this one yet. It's going to be a little while till this one's released, but yeah, I'm excited about this because it's a new song. So hope you like it. This one's called Erase Myself. No worries. Just keep writing stuff for yourself, and you know, if you've got a phone or whatever, a phone or a computer, some device to record onto, just make songs yourself. And you know, being young, you're at a great age to just learn as much as you can about playing your instruments and about writing music and just practicing and getting better and better. And then when you are older and you can have your own YouTube channel and things like that, then you know, then you can start sharing your music with people. So, all right, here we go. I'll brace myself for all this pain, erase myself and start again. Grab a hold of me and throw Daniel, good to have ya. Show burns inside of me, and I'll brace myself for all this pain, erase myself and start again. Let's see if I can get this high note. I'll brace myself, not bad, with honesty, erase myself and start again. Yeah, yeah. The refiner, it's time to change. You used to define me, resist the pain. Have to keep fighting the night. The brain is deep down inside me. Myself for all this pain, erase myself and start again, and I'll face myself with honesty, erase myself and start again. Thank you. Knox, that's totally fine to be recording and not releasing, you know. In fact, I think that's the best thing to do. I recorded all kinds of demos for a long time. A lot of times I had recordings, and you know, if I wanted to show anyone, I had to bring them into my bedroom to hear the music and stuff. So that's totally fine. Just focus on developing your craft, learning and getting better at it. And when the time comes that you can start releasing that stuff, you know, you'll be ready for it. Daniel, always great to have you. I'll let you know about the performance, even though you can stay a little. Hopefully that lag's not an issue. Does it seem to be resolved, or is it still happening? Knox, Stan, are you guys getting any lag? You know, please let me know. Daniel, I'll try to run through it real quick. Long story short, the gig, it was a really good first gig. And what I mean by that is, like, it went good, but there were some mishaps that happened that that were good learning experiences that I can use to help me prevent them from happening in future gigs. So, for example, the gig, by the way, was at a skate event. So there was a little skate park with tricks and stuff. You know, people doing skating all over the place, and there was food and vendors and people moving around, and then it was kind of festival style. There was let's see here. It was me and 3 other acts. So I was actually the first act to go on. I got there early, and the music wasn't going to start till an hour into the event. But I was able to get there early enough to get my stuff set up and plugged in. And it's basically the same set that I'm doing for you guys. I'm just plugging my guitar directly into my interface, and I've got, the microphone going through a preamp and compressor, and all that's going into my computer, my laptop, and I'm getting all my sound from there and the backing tracks and stuff. Only difference is instead of live streaming it, I'm outputting it from my interface out through the PA system. So did a little sound test, sounded good, everything was good to go, Stan was actually there. He helped me out. He was kind of watching my merch table. I say merch because I don't have any merch to sell yet, but it was just a little place where people could, I had these little promo cards with QR codes on them to give out so people could kind of check out my music and my social media and stuff. And I had a little tip jar and a sign-up list for my email list. And so just a few things for people to kind of interact with and stay updated with what I was doing. Let's see here, though. But, came time for showtime. I was ready to go. And, I was feeling confident. I was, trying to, I wanted to be charismatic and, put on a good performance and stuff. So I get up there. And Michael is the name of the man who's kind of running, overseeing everything. And so he's making some announcements into a microphone. And so while he's doing that, I'm behind him just kind of getting ready to take the stage. And I have this little loop in my guitar cable. And so I'm like, ooh, let me get that out of the way. So I spin to get that out of the way, and I end up pulling my gear off of the table. Thankfully not the laptop, but I pull my interface and my preamp and compressor off. And I'm like, ugh, why'd this have to happen right as I was about to go on? And so I'm like, Michael, buy me some time. And so I get everything fixed up, and it looks good. But I get up there to play, and my mic's not coming through, and my guitar's not coming through. And so the sound guy's trying to help me out. I'm fidgeting with things. Eventually, I get a signal. My guitar's coming through. So I play the first song. Now, I will say, as I played the first song, after this little mishap, it's hard to, do that and then just come out and be like, yeah, so my confidence was kind of shaken. So I was trying to be charismatic and confident, but it was definitely a little bit of a challenge. But let's see here. During the first song, I realized that my left guitar wasn't actually coming through in the backing track, so it was just the right signal that was coming through. Everything in the PA system was coming out mono, so we didn't realize it, but I knew the tracks, and there was a certain part where my guitar doesn't play, and it's just the backing track, and the guitar was missing, and I was like, oh no, the left signal's not coming through. But thankfully, we got that resolved, got that fixed. And then the next song was A Place to Call Home, and that song's got that high note in it. You shall know love. And I can hit it pretty easily like that, but when you're having to when you're having to sing 2 verses and a chorus before you get to that part, it's a little harder to hit that high note. Not to mention, I think when we were fidgeting with things to get my sound back through, I don't think my stage mix was as good. So I might have been singing louder than I needed to, and I might have been wearing my voice out. And so it just sucks because I really wanted to nail those notes. I just wanted to put on a good vocal performance. And then I was struggling. I was losing I actually lost my voice for the rest of the course. And then whenever I would stop singing for an instrumental bit and then come back in, I would have my voice back. So the first 2 songs were a little iffy. But thankfully I had some family and a couple friends there who were kind of supporting me, and there were other people. I wasn't playing in front of a huge audience, but there were definitely people who gathered around to check it out, and there were people just skating and walking around who were listening to the music too. But after that, the set went uphill from there. After that, I had planned out what I was going to say between songs, and the conversation, the engagement with the crowd between the songs went really good. I always got a good response, from the audience. And at a skate event, I had to call out, do a kickflip. I wanted to do that, but you couldn't really see the skate park that good from the stage view. But thankfully, somebody heard me, and this kid came over with his board. He came over into sight, and he did a kickflip for everyone, and everyone clapped. And so that was a pretty great moment. And then, yeah, the other songs went well. My playing went pretty good for the most part. I mean, yeah, I messed up at a couple parts, but I don't think anyone like really noticed. It wasn't like huge, noticeable mistakes, especially since most of them don't know my songs yet. And I will say this, though. It's really hard to play guitar when you're sweaty. This was an outdoor event. It was hot, and like getting close to the end of the show, it was getting hard to play some of those solos because my hands were just slipping on the guitar neck. And let's see here. Knox, I don't know if you're still out there, but thank you. I'm glad you liked the song. Yeah, hope you have a good rest of your time. You definitely come by to more of these streams and stuff. All right, Daniel. Yeah, I'm sorry it's lagging for you. Is the audio lagging too, or is it just the video that's lagging? But just to kind of wrap up the story for you, the show went good. And the other acts, they told me that, they had really positive things to say. One of the other bands was pretty local to my town, so the drummer gave me a few venues to check out. And the keyboard player was talking to me. He was telling me how he's been playing with backing tracks for like 25 years, and he was just kind of complimenting how tight my playing was with the backing tracks. And he was telling me not to worry about the mishap that happened at the beginning. He's like, no one cared. It's like, once you got up there and started playing, that's all that mattered and stuff. And so he was really encouraging. And yeah, it just got a lot of good feedback. My family and friends that came out, they had good things to say. So it was a good first show because, like, the things that went well were good, and then the problems that happened, they were things that I realize now, okay, I need to make sure that doesn't happen in the future, I need to make sure I can strap my gear down to the table somehow so that I'm not going to be able to pull it off. And maybe I'll leave my guitar unplugged until it's showtime, and then I'll plug in and just be careful not to tug it off, And so little things like that, and how to make sure my voice is ready. Being mindful of the PA system and how I'm singing, making sure I'm not singing louder than I need to. So little things like that just to kind of help out. Daniel, I'm sorry it's lagging on your end. I don't know if it's my end or if it just sometimes the stream seems to lag and stuff. But if the audio is okay, I'll go ahead and play one more song for you if if you've got time for one more before you head out. This is going to be an instrumental. Hope you like it. Oh, Daniel, when you said you were leaving, I thought you meant like you were going to come back and watch the stream later. But did you hear everything I said about the story? I was kind of trying to give you the short version of the story before you had to head out and stuff. All right, cool. Yeah, I'll let you watch it back so you can kind of hear the details of the story. But the short version is, it did go well. It was a good first stream because the things that went right, they were good. I was able to have fun and enjoy playing music and getting a good response from people. And then the things that went bad were good learning experiences. They were things that kind of helped me know, like, hey, I need to keep this in mind for future shows to prevent them from happening again. So things like, I don't know if you heard like what I said had gone wrong and stuff, but and I got a lot of good feedback from the people who saw the show, good compliments and stuff, and I'm excited to start playing more shows. Now that I'm done with the show, I'm trying to get back into kind of a routine of putting out content and hopefully releasing music again. I'm hoping to have a new song coming out soon, and once that one's out, I think I can get back into a system of releasing songs regularly. But I'm hoping to play another show. I'd love to play a show in the end of next month, August. And I just want to start like once a month for now, and then work my way to once a week. You know, I'd love to just play every Saturday. And yeah, so after this show, I'm just kind of trying to reassess, kind of, you know, based off the experience, and just try to prepare for the next one, and hopefully it goes well. And I do have some footage of the show, so so keep an eye out for a video. I'm going to release a video later. I had a friend who videotaped some of it, and Stan was actually at the show too. He helped me out with my merch table, and he got some footage. So I still got to get the footage from Stan. But yeah, so I've got a video, so you can at least kind of see a little bit of the show. So keep an eye out for that video. Anyway, here is an instrumental. This one's called Ascension. Yeah, it was good, you know. But yep, the it was a good first show, and I'm looking forward to playing more. Um, I'll definitely keep you all posted on when that's happening again. I'm hoping to book a show at the end of August. And truth be told, I kind of got to learn how to do that, you know, because I don't know. Like that's when I would like it, but part of me is like, I don't know if I actually get that preference. Like, hey, I'd love to play this day, you know, at your venue and stuff. Like, I might just have to contact the venue and then they let me know when they've got a good night for me or something, you know, to play. So there's still a lot for me to learn, but that's what's exciting is kind of trying out some new stuff and just getting out there and sharing my music. Yeah, other than that, I haven't had a whole lot of time for for downtime, but let me ask you guys, you know, have you been listening to anything good lately? You know, what you've been listening to, what you've been watching, you know, watching any good movies or shows lately? Are you playing any video games right now? You know, or maybe something else, you know, what have you been up to? You know, let me know in the comments. For myself, I mentioned earlier, I've been listening to some Queen lately. Just kind of checking out some of their greatest hits. And there's actually a few other artists that I've added to my music to check out list, and looking forward to check them out. Let's see here. Um, Other than listening, the last thing I really watched, so we lost internet at our house like last week, and so we didn't have Netflix or YouTube or anything like that, and so me and my brother, we were just kind of scrounging through DVDs, and we ended up watching Ace Ventura, which I hadn't seen that in a while, but that's a good one. What stinks though is after watching the first one, we wanted to watch the second one, but the DVD wasn't working, so that's pretty frustrating. So we're still that's kind of an itch we're trying to scratch right now. We're trying to get a hold of Ace Ventura 2 and see if we can watch that one, When Nature Calls. And then after that, after we weren't able to watch the second one, we still wanted to watch a movie. So my brother hadn't really seen the Mission Impossible movie, so we watched Mission Impossible Fallout, which is a great movie, great action movie, great stunts, just a really good movie, and he seemed to enjoy it. So that was good. You know, I always love getting to watch movies with my family, my siblings or my parents, whoever it might be. Um, and then other than that, as far as games, last time I told you all I'd been playing Resident Evil 7, I have not gotten to play that at all. You know, I've just been so busy. But every now and then my nephew will come over, and we've got a Nintendo Switch, and so he and I are playing Spyro on that right now. So sometimes we'll get on there and we'll just take turns playing. If you've ever played Spyro, you play as a dragon, and you're this little dragon, and there's these big dragons that have been frozen into stone by some kind of bad guy, and so you've got to go unfreeze them. And so we just take turns, you know, like we'll get one unfrozen, and then we'll hand over the controller and go do it, and I'll do the next one, and then he'll do it, and so that's been a fun game to play. And that's a game that I kind of grew up with on PS1. I actually don't know if I really got to play the first one all that much, or the third one, but I had the second one, and that one I definitely played all the time. So right now we're playing through the first one, but we have, you know, it's a remake of the full trilogy. So I'm looking forward to getting to that second one and revisiting that. When nature calls, you answer. Yep, that's right. And Daniel, that's awesome. Where are you going on vacation to? You you sound like you work a lot, so you definitely deserve a vacation. And that's cool that you're helping your buddy record a song. Um, do y'all know? Is it going to be rock, metal? Is it like an acoustic thing, some other style? You know, what style of music y'all thinking? And that's cool. That definitely happens. You know, when you're the one who knows how to record and stuff. there's going to be situations where your friends or family might need help from time to time. I've had to help friends before recording songs for a loved one or something, or just working on little projects, or maybe there's like a little play or a skit or an event or something happening at the church, and they need like a certain kind of music for it. So I've definitely helped with that kind of thing before. So yeah, that'll happen. I've got one more song for y'all. I might pull out one more, but I'll definitely hang out to chat some. This might be the last one. I might do one more. Not sure yet. But let me get tuned, and I'm going to dive into this other song here in just a moment. So more of a staycation than a vacation. But I think that's awesome. My brother-in-law, he's kind of said it before. He's like, you work so hard to get things for your house, to put into your house or around your house. And then when you get time off of work, you end up spending it somewhere else. It's like, why would you not want to spend time at your house and stuff? And I think that makes sense. I think both are great. I think it's great to travel somewhere, visit someplace and have an experience there. But I agree, like just having like a good week at home and just getting to enjoy like the things in your home and the things around your house, like that sounds like a good vacation to me. So you deserve it. I hope that's good. And that's cool that he's kind of a classic rock guy. So I'm sure that'll be fun to work on. I hope you can do that. Yeah, I hope you get some sleep. I can be the same way a lot, where I'll go through a period of time where I'm just like not getting to bed really that well, and it's so hopefully this week I'm kind of easing back into kind of a routine to help me with that as well. But awesome, man. All right, got another song here. This one's called Love's Not Fair. Staring at my own reflection through shattered bits of glass, showing me the perfect picture of who I really am. But when you look at me, you never turn away, kneeling next to me and picking up the pieces. Why do you care? I know I'm undeserving of the love that you have chosen to share. It's just not fair. I am such a useless failure, fallen to the ground. Every effort that I muster is never good enough. But when you look at me, standing next to me and holding out your hand, why do you care? I know I'm if I'd take just one moment away from my self-loathing, then maybe I would notice that I'm not meant to be broken. If I take just one moment away from my self-loathing, then maybe I would notice that I'm not meant to be broken. So stop beating up myself. You took the punishment yourself, and it's just foolish pride to think that I could ever hurt myself enough to cover what I've done. I could cut myself dry, and it still would never be enough. It makes no sense at all. Why do you care? I know I'm undeserving of the love that you have chosen to share. It's just not fair. But love isn't fair. In spite of all I am, you chose to die for me, and that isn't fair. But love's not fair. Thank you. Stan, are you really not going to be able to play bass anymore, or is this a joke? Just because it seems like something important like that you would tell me, not over a live stream. You would call me about that later, So I hope you're joking. But if you're not, well, I guess we'll have to talk about it later. But I hope everything's okay. Thank you, Daniel. I appreciate that. Let's see here. I might pull out one more for you, Daniel, but let's see. I'm trying to think if there's anything else to kind of update with. It's sort of, really just after the live show, pretty much the main thing is just kind of reassessing just what I learned from that, kind of making preparations for the next one, which not to say that the next one is going to take, a month, but it's more than just the show itself. It's, my content and things like that. I'm actually hoping to put out more content more frequently. Like lately, I think with the current collaboration I was in, it was the current collaboration I was in, it was just hard to focus on other things. So I'm looking forward to just kind of finishing this song and getting that one released, and then hopefully getting a system back in place where I can put out songs regularly, and hopefully some other videos too. Besides just the live streams and stuff. I know I've been doing only live streams for a long time, and I'm going to continue doing live streams. There might be some changes, but I'll figure that out as I go along the way. But I'm hoping to start releasing some other content soon. And yeah, and I don't know. It's one of those things where a lot is in development, but I guess there's not a whole lot to share just yet. But definitely excited for what's to come. Daniel, I don't know if you can remember all my song titles, but do you have a request? Anything I can play for you as a last song? Let me know if there's one you'd like to hear. Obviously, I know you enjoy the oh my gosh, Let's Start Again, and I can do that one. Or I'm curious if there's any other songs that you enjoy that you'd like me to pull out. If you don't have any preference, then I'll just pick a random one. But if there's one you're like, I always like hearing you do this one, then yeah, I'll go ahead and do it for you. And I'm trying to think. One thing kind of cool that I heard recently. So I'm not like a huge Pantera fan. I definitely respect the band. I think I need to check out more by the band, really. Like, there's a couple songs I've heard from them, but I think I'm going to check out their album soon. But I actually heard that Pantera is going to be returning after a long hiatus. Obviously, the death of Dimebag. They pretty much called it quits after that and stuff. But I think the vocalist and the drummer are coming back. Or no, maybe it's the vocalist and the bassist. And then they're actually going to get Zach Wildey to play guitar in place of Dimebag. And then I think they've got the drummer from Anthrax. So it's definitely an interesting story there, So like I'm not like a huge fan of the band, but I know how instrumental they were to metal, and so kind of hearing that, it's definitely got my like curiosity. Like I'm curious to hear what that's going to sound like and how that's going to work out. So we'll see. I think they're supposed to be releasing something in 2023, so we'll have to wait a little bit. But I do think that's kind of cool. Yep, sounds like you know about it. Yep. So, yep, vocalist and bassist, and yeah, they're gonna have a couple other guys. So, yeah, definitely curious to see how that plays out. I think it's pretty cool that they're doing that. Interesting for sure. Well, this is gonna be the last song, so I think "Say That It's Over" is an appropriate song. So, the stream is over, so. Let me get my guitar tuned real quick, and yeah, I'm gonna play "Say That It's Over." Here we go. Say That's Over. Your smile so deceptive that it almost looks real. Well, it must be hard to fake what you do not really feel. You're hiding, I know it. Tell me what's on your mind. I only wish to help. Won't you let me back inside? Say that it's over. Tell me the truth just one last time. I promise I'll help you. If only you'll let me back inside. Let me inside. Your face shows I call out your name, your presence like a ghost. You seem so far away, and you know that I love you, but the words seem to have died. I just want this to end. Please let me back inside. Say that it's over. Tell me the truth just one last time. I promise I'll help you. And only you'll let me back inside. Let me inside. Don't drift your eyes, just look at me when I look at you, because you must realize you're barely holding on, and I'm holding tight. Would you just please try? Don't give in, you have to fight. Why won't you hear my cry? I don't wanna say goodbye. Say that it's over. Tell me the truth just one last time. I promise I'll help you. If only you'll let me back inside. Say that it's over. Tell me the truth just one last time. I promise I'll help you. If only you'll let me back inside. Say that it's over. And I don't wanna hear another lie. I just wanna help you. Please won't you let me back inside. Thank you. Daniel, I appreciate you tuning in. Stan, Knox from earlier, anyone else watching now or on the replay, definitely appreciate you all watching. Yeah, my pleasure. Thank you for the request. Definitely happy to play a song you like. So, anyone watching now or on the replay, thank you so much for tuning in. If you'd like to support me, there is a link in the description to a virtual tip jar. I certainly appreciate that. If you don't have the financial means to support me, my biggest goal right now is building an audience. So there's another link to an email list if you're not signed up for it. Signing up, that helps me to notify you when I have new song releases. And now I'm going to be notifying like when I'm playing shows and things like that. And also just, liking the video, sharing it, subscribing to the channel, inviting people to come to the streams, sharing my videos, things like that. That helps out a lot. So definitely appreciate your support. Appreciate all of you watching. Thank you so much. Daniel, I hope you have a great vacation, and I hope your recording goes well with your friend. If I don't know if y'all are releasing or whatever, but if you're going to share it, I'd love to hear it. If it's kind of just a private thing, that's fine, but if you're wanting to put it out, definitely let me know when you've put it out, and I'll check it out. Okay. I just said out a lot is all, that's all I was laughing at. But anyway, thank you so much. I hope you all have a good night, or a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is, wherever you are in the world. Until next time. All right, just a second. Hey, JT, what's up? I was literally just kind of wrapping things up, but now that you're here, I might, I don't know, I might indulge you a little bit. I might pull out a song real quick to play for you. JT, hope you're doing well. I'm going to play a song for you real quick since you just showed up like literally as I was leaving. It's going to be a short one, but I'll play a little instrumental real quick. But let me know, how you doing? What have you been up to, JT? You playing any music? You see any good movies lately? What have you been listening to? Let me know. Miguel. Yeah, Top Gun Maverick was great. Some people have seen it in theaters multiple times. I've only seen it once, but I went to see it with my family, and yeah, that's a great movie. I'm glad it's doing so well because when people go to movies like that, you tell the box office what you want to see. So when you're paying to see movies like that, and you're supporting movies like that to get made, so you're telling the box office, yes, we want good movies with fun characters, great action, and no external drama, taken into it and stuff. Just a good fun time at the movies, and just heart and humor and action and excitement. Like that's just a great movie, and the visuals and amazing camera work. So yeah, that's a good one. Thanks, JT. Sorry you came right at the end of things. But if you would like, you're certainly welcome to rewatch the stream and stuff, and see some of the stories. And I should be streaming again next week on Thursday. Sorry you caught like the very end of this one and stuff. But I'm glad I could play a little something for you. So, but yeah, awesome. Hope you have a great week. Take care, and until next time.